Hi everyone. Today we're going to be taking a look at the booking button widget from Boken. What we'll do is start by looking at this button embedded on one of our clients' sites that you see here, just to give an example of what it looks like once it's uploaded. And then we'll go into the Boken backend and I'll show you how to edit and configure the settings for this button and generate the code you need to put it on your site. So beginning with the example, this is one of our clients here and we're on their tour page. If we scroll down, we can see they've got a nice description here and some further information. And at the bottom, they've got the Book Now button. So if I click on this, you'll notice it immediately opens up into the Boken calendar widget. Now, one thing to note about the Book Now button is that it can open up into any of the other three widgets in Boken. So in this case, it's the calendar, but it can also open up into our product page or product list widgets. And I highly encourage you to check out our other videos and articles on those widgets for more information. So now that we've just taken a brief glance at what this looks like once it's set up in a website, let's go into Boken and show you how to set this widget up. Starting from the Boken homepage, I'm going to click on Online Sales Tools. And this brings me to the widget dashboard. Over here on the left, we're going to hover over Button and click Create Widget. Now what we have here on the right is a live preview. So we can click on this button and test it out and go through the entire booking process. But on the left is the settings that we need to configure for the widget. So the first one is the button trigger, which is essentially asking me what I want to have happen when the button is clicked. Do I want it to open up a product page, product list, or a calendar? Just as I mentioned before, those are all options. The next question is, who is the supplier? In this case, this is just your company. We're using a test account today called Adventure Tours. And finally, the experience, in this case, because we've chosen the product page, it's asking me which experience we want to open a product page for. So we could just generate the embed code if we're happy how the button looks right now, but we can also click on Edit Appearance to customize a lot about how this button looks. So if I click on that, you'll see the first option is to change the actual text within the button. So this is really nice in case you want to say something like reserve your tour, or maybe if you're using the product list, you could change the text to be something like view all tours. But right now, because we're using the product page, I'm going to stick it with Book Now. The next option is the button radius. So this is changing the shape of the button. The lower I go, the more square the edges become. So if I set it to 0, you'll see we have a perfectly square button. The higher I go, the rounder the button becomes. So if we go to an extreme and type 30, you'll see now we have an oval shaped button. I'm going to leave it at 5 because I like a mostly square booking button. And then the next option is the padding, which is really the size of the button itself. So right now it's 10 pixels by 20 pixels. If we increase this, we can make a larger button. And of course, we don't have to increase that proportionally. So if I want a square button, I can make the pixels the same for the height and the length. I do like a rectangle, so we're going to keep it at 20 by 40. You do have the option to add a shadow underneath the button, which can help it stand out. So I'm going to go ahead and select that. Now our font is a little bit small because we've increased the size of the button. So I'm going to go and make this a little bit larger. And then finally, you have the option to change the color of both the button and the text within it. So this is really nice. If I click here, we can see our full color spectrum. I'm going to go for a seafoam green. And then if I want to change the text color so it's a little bit more readable, I'll make it black. So at any point you can reset the button to default, but this is nice because it gives you full control over the appearance and text of the button. That will make it fit in with whatever the look and feel of your website requires. Once I'm ready to upload the button to my site, I'll just click on Generate Embed Code. And this brings up an HTML code that we cut and paste into the back of our website platform. We do have a help desk that has articles on how to do this for platforms such as WordPress, Wix, Squarespace, and a number of others. So I highly encourage you to check out our help desk for a step-by-step guide. But essentially all we need to do is click on Copy Embed Code and then paste the code into an HTML box on the page that you want it to appear on. So I hope you found this video interesting and helpful. Thank you again for choosing Boken, and please feel free to look at our other resources for further information.